Hi guys, it is me, the Dark Queen, and I would totally appreciate it if you could like and subscribe to my channel, Creepy Signal, bringing you all your nightmare material. And tonight, speaking of nightmare material, I thought I'd talk about. I took a poll and I was like, well, are you guys kind of interested in hearing as to why I believe why we are one of the most haunted cities in America? And people were like, yeah, I mean, honestly, I know there's going to be debunkers and people that are like, oh, talking about energy and, getting into mathematics and, time continuums and things of all of that. And this is just my 2 cents. Okay? So I'm not like the type that's going to go back and forth, and I'm just, this is what I believe. Just small town girl that's lived here her whole life. It's kind of like, yeah, we got some ghosts going on because of, X, Y, and Z. And really, I mean, people try to kind of like overcomplicate things and, talk about time continuums of, energies, and, it's just part of, this sort of echoing sort of a level of, time and space. And I'm just like, okay, or it could be, let's go back to old timey, right? There's a lot of cities that are like, we're the most haunted city in America. And okay, I'm sure you're haunted, but let's stop and think, right? Let's t- let's simplify things. Just let me entertain that concept. Simplify things. There's one place that I know for sure that it's got to be like crazy super haunted that could say, you know what? We're going to beat San Antonio. And that would be Gettysburg. I'm talking about simplistic. How many bodies are where? That's right. We're talking about battlefields, right? I'm sure there's other places. I'm not a historian by no means. So I'm sure there's going to be some people that are like, what about this battle? What about that? Hey, those should. But what I'm saying is like, California's like, oh, we're super haunted. Louisiana's like, oh, we're super. I mean, yeah, a lot of bad stuff has happened there. But let's stop and think about the simplicity of how many people died there, okay? So I'm gonna paint you a picture of San Antonio. Okay, so we first started out. San Antonio was like super, tiny. I mean, I remember being like in the early '90s, where we were still considered kind of a city town. Like that's how little we were. Imagine, back in the old timey days when we first set up our first colony by the Spanish Canary Islanders, which, um, settled right where Santa Rosa Hospital is. And that is where they say the dancing devils of Million Square show up. You don't have to be a genius. Okay, let's think about that. It's a colony. They're starting out small, right? So, couple, maybe 1 or 2 miles, maybe. People start dying in this colony. Got to bury them somewhere. They found remains. Okay, so colony was set up in Million Park, was Million Square. Um, well, there's a Million Square, but it moved. But it's Million Park. And so right across the street, the literal street, is Santa Rosa Hospital. Santa Rosa Hospital's been under reconstruction. Guess what they found? More remains. Remains. And in Santa Rosa Hospital, I'm going to throw this out there because I'm going to make a video just on Santa Rosa Hospital. No. There's been said to be seen, I think it's like it's on one of the floors. Headless nun. She ain't got a head. She just floats right towards you and people run. People run for their lives. But anyways, they found remains while doing reconstruction to the buildings. So we know that they didn't bury their dead pretty far. And so just think about that. Just a colony. They've got dead bodies from I don't know how many people were first established there. Like I said, I'm not a historian. But just setting up first colony, testing out the waters of San Antonio. Yeah, they weren't, hey, let's go bury, Auntie May couple 100 feet away from where we live. They were pretty cool with that. Not to say it was cool, but just to say, hey, they They felt more comfortable, I guess, with their loved ones close to them. I guess. I don't know. But that's one thing, right? Let's talk about the Battle of the Alamo. Where did they bury all these bodies? Santa Anna ain't gonna haul his dead people back over. No. He ain't taking them. He's gonna abandon them, okay? So we've got those dead bodies all over the place. Then we've got our own. Whether it was, for the people fighting for Texas in America. And then we've also got, we've got, unfortunately, Santa Anna's army. So we've got the Battle of the Alamo, one of the biggest battles where there's bodies all over the place. I'm one to accept that, and that is why. I mean, people are just like, oh, do you, the ghost tracks and this. I'm like, look, whether it's a ghost tracks or dead soldiers, the bodies of dead soldiers from the battles that we did not care to recover. I mean, so basically, the likelihood is that a lot of these houses have dead bodies under them, under their properties. I mean, I don't understand how people don't really kind of put that together. They were battles. They didn't say, oh, let's go give them how many? Really? Come on. You think they were going to make that many graves for either, since we did win, we eventually won. As far as that, we weren't going to go and make, proper burials for soldiers that were opposed to us. So let's stop and think about that. So they just probably threw it in a heap in the ground all over the place. I mean, come on. How hard is it to really stop and theorize? We're getting all these crazy levels of energy, and who knows? Maybe that is what is contributing to the darkness that, some of us acknowledge here in San Antonio and some don't acknowledge because it's bad PR. But to me, I'm always open-minded as far as, the things that linger, the things that loom, because there could be this sort of magnetism for the darkness because of all of the animosity, all of the hate, all of the rage, and it just we have these sort of tragedies like Donkey Lady Bridge, El Camaroncito that magnify. And when I talk about like the Donkey Lady Bridge, I have my story on my YouTube channel, The Donkey Lady, and about the woman and her being murdered as well as her donkey and them fusing and she becoming a she beast. And then we also have the tale of the dancing devil, where the devil himself showed up to dance with a woman in a West Side bar here in San Antonio. And then we also have the tale of Midget Mansion, where a midget went mad and insane and one day just chopped up his whole family. And these are notorious stories, but I mean, maybe there is a reason because of all of that transpiring, that there was something that really kind of intensified the reason for their lingering. And people try to overanalyze, people try to, but maybe it's because of this sort of dark negative energy from the battle and all of the fighting, all of the buried unmarked graves. We have unmarked graves, and people are going to be like, real estate, oh, you should not be saying. It's true. To not say it would be wrong, but I mean, it's history. It's part of history, and I think if we really kind of, and that's why I always say, when I talked about the devil video, there's been a lot of sightings of, I don't know if it's the devil himself or demons that have been seen in certain areas of San Antonio. I made a video on it. You're more than welcome to watch it. But I think in that same area of San Antonio, it is so rich in history, and the people on that side of town really respect the land. And there is a certain understanding of when you move here, that you kind of need to try to respect it in order for you to really be able to accept the concept of living here. And there's just, if you were to really stop and realize just how haunted we are, I think you would understand that, yes, it would probably be best to really try to appreciate the history of the land, and really try to, like I said, respect it. But for me, I think it's a cultural thing. It's something that you understand. It is something you appreciate as far as when you realize the situation that you're in. Some people might move away. Some people might not be able to really take it. But for me, I think it's part of a way of living because that's all I know. But that's my theory. That's my 2 cents. There's probably gonna be debunkers commenting on this video, but that's how I feel. Like there's unaccounted for bodies, and that might be causing energy, intensifying all of these haunted hotspots. And that's not even going into this insane asylum. I'll do a video on that, but I mean, we do have a lot of haunted history. I mean, we have so many different historic hotels that are just haunted that I didn't even cover. So think about those sort of things. And but other than that, I appreciate you watching this video, hearing me out on my concept, on my theory, as to why I feel that we are super haunted. And if anything, there's going to be a lot that say they're haunted, but with us, we know that there are unmarked graves. Unfortunately, we didn't get to properly bury all of the soldiers that fought in the battle, whether they were, soldiers for fighting for the United States or not. But they're all over the place. They're scattered. Even the people that were founding, the colonies, all of them, probably should have had, if we were going to be building on places, we probably should have started digging around, but maybe they didn't have markers for where they were buried. We don't know. But we know that there's bodies all over the place in this city. So, but yes, thank you so much for hearing me out on my video, on my theory, on as to why I think we are one of the most haunted cities in America today. Thank you for watching. This is me, the Dark Queen, with my 2 cents. And thank you for watching. Again, I cannot thank you enough. I will talk to you later in your nightmares. See you later.